Welcome to one of the fastest races in the entire calendar, and while it's one of the newer races on the F1 World Tour, it's already staked its reputation as a fan favourite. It's Jeddah, and it's the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. So let's take a look at the topographical map of the Jeddah street circuit. As you can see, a number of challenging corners for the drivers to master here. We'll see just how much the teams have benefited from their time spent in practice this weekend. And like many street circuits, this track has the potential to punish drivers that get it wrong. Let's hope we avoid any safety cars today. Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks like for today's race. George Russell will begin today's event in pole position, and it's Lewis Hamilton alongside. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Verstappen, Leclerc, Perez, Sainz, Fernando Alonso, Norris, Oscar Piastri, Bottas, Joe, Hülkenberg, Gasly, Ocon, Stroll, Magnussen, Tsunoda, Crab, O'Neill, and Daniel Ricciardo fills the last spot on the grid. And now it's time to head down to the track.
That place back, I'm afraid. That was an illegal overtake. Race control are not happy with your creative interpretation of track limits, and they've given you a 5-second penalty. Okay, the start was fine. Let's try and move forward. Nice move, good job. DRS will be enabled for this lap. You can use it when you're within 1 second of the car ahead and in the DRS zone. push.
So after a day of mixed fortunes up and down the field, we bring today's race to a close. Well, Anthony Davidson, a resounding victory today, but what set them apart from the rest?
Well, this was one through an abundance of speed and skillful overtakes. Inside, outside, cutting underneath, we saw it all today. And it's really nice to see a Grand Prix won in that manner. A race to satisfy the purists today, I think.
Well, I'm thoroughly exhausted after the excitement of that race, but I'm sure it's nothing compared to our drivers here. They've worked hard to make it up there, and it's great to see them make their way onto the podium now.